You ever wonder or ask yourself, how is it you can know what crystals do? How is it that people discover the properties of crystals? You know, when you go online or you look in the Crystal Bible, which is the main encyclopedia on crystals, how is it that these people discovered the properties so clearly, so specifically of what each crystal does and how it could benefit you in your life? In this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to do exactly that. If you don't already know, my name is David Lyon. I'm the creator of Living Magic, and I'm all about supporting you in your spiritual growth, ascension, and journey of fulfillment by making it a little bit more fun and flavorful. All right, so how do you use crystals and what are crystals? This is a video I've actually been wanting to make for a while, so I'm excited to be making it now. And what you're going to want to do is I want you to go ahead and grab a crystal. Grab a crystal in your house that attracts you. Chances are you have one, or if you don't have one, go buy one. But go ahead, pause this video for a second, grab a crystal, and then come right back. All right? So once you have a crystal, I just want you to genuinely, before we begin anything, just have that same wonder. Wonder to yourself, how is it possible that people tuned into this and knew the properties of these crystals so accurately in a way that they could write it down in an encyclopedia and so that you can use it to your benefit? You know, many people have benefited from the vibrations of crystals when they're used properly. A lot of times people just have them for decoration and think that they're nice. And there are many people who use them more intentionally, who charge their crystals, who place intention in their crystals, who work with their crystals, who do healing with their crystals, who manifest with their crystals, who do all kinds of things with their crystals very deliberately and intentionally. And so what I want to bring new to the table here is to show you, to teach you a very simple, fun, and practical way that you could tune into your crystals and know the properties of them, know what they do, what they're good for, and how you can use them in the most relevant way for your life right now. All right, that's what we're doing in this video, so get excited. And step number one is, like I said, I just want you to wonder that. Just wonder, how is it that people could discover these properties? Start to adopt a feeling, a behavior of childlike wonder and curiosity. Because what used to happen in ancient times is, back in the times of ancient Atlantis and Lemuria and other times and other spaces, people were of a different vibrational nature. So what I mean by that is people in those times were in a much higher level of consciousness, meaning they were much more sensitive naturally to light frequency, to light energy. So the higher vibrational people, we'll call them, would be able to simply come in contact with a crystal or a tree or a plant or a non-physical being and be able to read its energy very naturally. Much in the same way that if you have a cat or a dog and maybe your dog just goes, you develop such a deep bond with it, a deep resonance with it, that when it does that simple head nod, you can telepathically, instantly, intuitively know, oh, my dog wants a treat right now, or oh, my dog wants to play or go out, or whatever the case may be. So that is one example of tuning into a consciousness, to a being, and receiving information from it. And so back in ancient times, it was as simple as that. It was as simple as placing your attention and intention on something and receiving as an instant download in your consciousness what this is good for and how you can use it. Because crystals are an expression of consciousness. They are crystallized light energy. They are crystallized consciousness. So since everything in the universe is made up of consciousness, of the fabric of consciousness, there's a way to interact with it. This is how people interact with plants, crystals, so on and so forth. So knowing that, taking a second to know that everything is made up of consciousness, that means that there's some way to interact with everything in the universe. Now, that doesn't mean that everything has the same level of consciousness. It doesn't necessarily mean that a rock or a crystal will have the analytical kind of consciousness or self-reflective necessarily, but it is made up of intelligent infinity, intelligent light. All right. It has a unique energy signature, could be a better way of saying that. So this was used in ancient times in many different ways. And to go over it very briefly, for example, one of the ways that crystals were used, such as quartz crystal, is a lot like the way that CDs were used back in the day. For those of you who remember CDs, it's kind of funny that I have to say that, but this is the same way that CDs are used, right? CDs are a kind of crystal technology that has information imbued in it, and then using a laser, we retrieve the information by use of a computer, right? So by that medium, we do use a technology, right? We use a physical technology being the computer and a laser. But in ancient times, such as in the times of Atlantis, they would use crystals such as quartz, and they would intentionally imbue information into those crystals so that it could be retrieved, a lot like when you go to a library, so they would imbue the crystals with certain information, and then people would have ways of extracting that information and learning things from the crystals. Pretty cool, right? So that's one of the many ways it was used. People also used to chant to crystals, for the more sacred crystals, such as the crystal skulls. I'm not going to go too deep into this. When there was very sacred information that was put in a very particular way, sometimes they would have groups of people, of priests and priestesses and so on and so forth, who would intuitively chant. They would connect with the crystals, and they would intuitively chant towards the crystals, letting sound come out of them, and their vibration would resonate with the frequencies locked inside the crystals. And then the crystals would give off the vibrations that would serve as the downloads of the information stored inside. So I just share that to say that there are so many different ways to interact with crystals. But what I'm going to provide you with is the most simple, fun, and practical. All right. So what you're going to want to do is go ahead, grab whatever crystal most attracts you, and you're just going to hold it in your hand. Doesn't really matter which hand. I like to use my right hand because I'm a righty, but you're just going to hold your crystal in your hands. And this is going to work through a very simple principle, which I teach as I am, which is an acronym for intention plus action equals magic, or intention plus action equals manifestation, because you're going to manifest the information from the crystal in a way that's useful for you. So in a moment, I'm going to lead you through a guided experience that will put you into a kind of trance state that is right for you, that will make it easier for you to extract the information from your crystal. And then once you do this once, you'll know how to do this again and again. And so you could do it with other crystals, and you could teach your friends about it, and you could just have a lot of fun with this, and really just take your spiritual practice to another level. So first thing I want you to do is you're going to make sure for the next 5-10 minutes you're undisturbed. So you might want to put your phone on silent or close your door. And you're just going to make yourself comfortable. So go ahead and do that now. I'm going to do the same. Good. Now, as you make yourself comfortable, I just want you to sit there. And before you even close your eyes, just take a moment to look at your crystal. Place all of your attention on your crystal and look at it as if you're seeing it for the first time again. Be curious about it. Be wondrous about it. Look at it perhaps the way a child would look at a new toy, with that awe, with that wonder. But just look at it and take it in and be genuinely curious about it. Perhaps telling yourself on the inside, I would love to learn more about this crystal. I would love to learn more about its properties and how it works. and just be curious. And what's going to be cool about this is that later on, you can go ahead and check online the information that you received compared with what's in the Crystal Bible or online, and you'll see how accurate this is. Okay, so take your crystal, and what's important here is that all throughout, you just adopt a behavior of childlike curiosity, because it's that childlike state that gives you access to the magic within. So look at it, be curious about it. And what you're going to do is you're going to set the intention of, I'm ready to learn more about this crystal. I want to learn more about this crystal. I'm excited to learn more about this crystal. So that as you set that intention, it starts to spin an energy inside of you. Start to move and create an energy. Good. And then all you're going to do is you're going to rest your hand, sit comfortably, hold the crystal in your hand, and close your eyes. Perhaps with a smile on your face. And just close your eyes. And with your eyes closed, still feeling your intention moving and spinning inside of you. If I'm ready to learn more about this crystal, I want to learn more about crystals. As you do that, just let your body relax. Let your body relax from head to toe. And I want you to go ahead and allow your curiosity and excitement to move through you as you begin to get excited for where this journey is going to lead. And then all I want you to do from a playful space is I want you to go ahead and imagine yourself in a living room of some sort. It could be the living room that you have in your house. It could be an imaginary living room. It could be an outside living room. Maybe you prefer to be outside. Whatever your imagination comes up with is perfect. All right? No need to try and control it. Just let it be whatever shows up. And just allow yourself to find yourself joyfully in a living room space. And notice that as you find yourself in this space, somewhere in this space, there is a TV of some sort, a screen. And that TV is off for now. And before you even go up to the TV, I just want you to take a moment to really enjoy exploring this space and looking around. Look around as if you're seeing this place for the first time. Maybe you are. So just explore, look around, notice the different decorations, the different objects, the different colors that are in this space, observing all with childlike curiosity and wonder. You can let yourself touch things as you go by, running your fingers across the furniture or different objects, noticing the texture of the things that you touch. And also noticing the different colors that you see in the space around you. Looking around and giving yourself permission to explore freely and playfully, to look at all the different things in this space. Look at in the different nooks and crannies. Lift things up, move them, touch them. Be curious. And as you walk in, I want you to notice, what's the lighting like? Is there light coming into the room from a certain point? Or maybe it's nighttime and you have the beautiful night sky. Notice the temperature that you feel in the space around you. Is it cool? Is it warm? Is it hot? Just right? And as you walk around, I want you to notice what the ground feels like beneath your feet. Is it mushy? Is it smooth? Is it soft? Just observe every detail of the space, perhaps noticing if you could hear any sounds around you, be they nearby or in the distance. Maybe you're hearing the sounds of birds in the trees, or wind rustling the bushes. Or maybe you're simply hearing the sound of yourself moving the different objects around inside the space you're in. Or perhaps even just hearing the general hum of the universe. And as you pay attention to the sounds and look around, I want you to notice perhaps all your favorite things that you can see in this space. Maybe there are some of your favorite objects in this space, or pictures, or furniture pieces. Just observing, you're just having fun. That's all you're doing here. You're letting yourself get accustomed to the space and making yourself comfortable and familiar with it, joyfully. And then all I want you to do now is I want you to go ahead and turn your attention to that TV, to that screen, and just look at it. If you want, you can go up to it and observe its details. Notice the size of the screen. Feel it, maybe touch the edges if it's edged, or maybe it's a round screen. Look behind it if you want. Maybe you even notice a certain brand name. But as you observe the TV, I want you to notice that this is actually a very unique and magical TV. It's got a particular vibe to it. And then all I want you to do is to go ahead and position yourself somewhere in front of the TV that feels right, that feels comfortable, that feels like you're viewing position pleasure. So maybe it's really, really close. Maybe it's far. Maybe it's in the middle. Just position yourself comfortably, sitting or standing, whatever feels good for you. And then all I want you to do is imagine that you're holding your crystal in your imaginary hand as well. So you're holding it in your physical hand and you're holding it in your imaginary hand. And so I want you to imagine that you're holding that crystal in your hand, feeling the texture of it, and feeling the vibrational energy of it, feeling the magic in it, recognizing that within this energy is information, and that this crystal would like to communicate to you what it's all about. You might even see and feel the sparkles of the energy, the magic of the energy in your world. But I just want you to notice and feel and sense that this crystal wants to communicate with you, wants to share with you what it's all about. And then as you feel that energy, I want you to go ahead and set the intention on the inside, using your heart, using your inner voice of, I want to learn more about this crystal. I'm excited to be shown what this crystal is for, what it is used for, what it helps with. And feel that energy spinning inside of you, perhaps interacting with the crystal. And then whenever you're ready, in the most magical and playful way possible, I want you to imagine pointing the crystal at the TV and letting a beam of energy go from the crystal into the TV and allow the TV to come on its own. And as the TV comes on, and as you see the imagery, however it's displayed, I want you to notice that what you're seeing is what the crystal is generally used for, what it can help with. And just be curious about what you're seeing. If you want, you could even zoom into the image so that you could see it more closely. And just observe whatever you're seeing. You might see imagery. You might see it shown metaphorically or through analogy. You might even be shown to you as a cartoon in a very cartoon-like fashion. Trusting that however you're seeing is perfect. And now here's the secret sauce. Here's the magic sauce. is, again, using your childlike curiosity. I want you to begin to interact and ask questions to the image that you're seeing, so that as you're observing it, as you're seeing the properties of the crystals and what it's used for and how it helps, I want you to ask questions to the image such as, oh, that's cool. What else can it do? How is it used? What does that help with? What happens when the crystal's by itself? What happens when it's with me? What happens when I add intention to it? So you're just allowing yourself to ask whatever questions are genuine to you that you might want to know through interacting with this image. And if you want, you could even ask for a different example. Say, hey, can you show me this in a different example? Give me a more simple example. Give me a more cartoon-like example. And just allow yourself to see what you see, observe what you observe, and notice as you do this, what you feel as you're observing this, how you can even sense vibrationally the information beyond the imagery, so that you're receiving from more senses than one. You might even ask, what other uses do you have? What else are you good for? Show me. You could let it take you into a world to show you. Let it be creative. Let it unfold as it will. And then what you can ask is, how can I best use this in my everyday life in a way that's most relevant for me, or most expansive for me, or most useful for me? And let it show you. Let it reveal to you how it would love to be used with you, in tandem with you, in harmony with you. And take note of what you see here. Take note of the environment you see yourself in, which hand you might see yourself holding it in, the way you're using it, playing with it, maybe singing to it, the way it activates you or interacts with you, what it allows you to do more easily and effortlessly, what it might allow you to attract more of, that now you could be more attuned to and aware of and sensitive to, allowing you to attract it more rapidly and effortlessly. Just noticing all the different ways that this can benefit you, and then having fun. You might ask again one more time, this is amazing. How else can I use this? And just let yourself be shown. You're just having fun here, as if you're having a genuine conversation with the consciousness of this crystal. Allowing yourself to receive through imagery, through sensation, through knowingness, whatever is the path of least resistance for you. Beautiful. And then finally, what you're going to do is, I want you to ask now, what is the best way that I can take care of this crystal? And maybe it even wants to be called a certain name that gives you a unique way of connecting and interact with it, the same way you would a stuffed animal that you named when you were a kid. You know, when you give it that name, it just forms a certain kind of unique bond. So maybe it wants to be called a certain name, or you can give it a certain name. But asking it, how can I best take care of you? And letting it show you. You might say, thanks for asking. I'd like to be charged in the sun, or in the moonlight, or in a bowl of sand or salt water, or none of the above, or all of the above. Just let it show you how it likes to be cared for, because crystals function a lot like rechargeable batteries. Not all crystals, but some crystals function like rechargeable batteries, where they do require a certain kind of care and charge and intention to be placed in them. And so you might even ask it, if it's appropriate, what kind of intention should I place in you to get the most effectiveness out of you? Just have fun. Be explorational. I'm simply giving ideas. All right? So as you get your information, you're just going to take a moment, say thank you. Thank you for what you received. And then you could take a moment to go back to the room, bring yourself back to the room, and genuinely just take a moment to appreciate and acknowledge what you just accomplished. You just tuned into your unique gifts, your unique channel, and accessed information, non-physical information, using your inner magic. That's amazing. And so then all I want you to do now, as you just feel grateful and appreciative and perhaps joyful and excited, in a moment, I'm going to wake you back up, and I'm going to count up from 1 to 5. And on the count of 5, and only on the count of 5, eyes open, wide awake, bringing with you a feeling and state of joy that you can carry with you into the waking world. As we count up from 1, 2, and 3, slowly arising, allowing the joy to emanate through you. 4 and 5, eyes open, wide awake. And welcome back. So, how was that experience for you? Pretty cool, right? How simple is this method of interacting with your crystals that you can do at any time? So you essentially just want to bring yourself into a meditative state, into a trance, create a playful scenario, such as a living room, with a screen, with a TV, or a crystal ball, or any plethora of things that you could imagine, and then use intention plus action to equal the magic that you would like to experience. So you bring yourself into that playful state, you have the intention to get the information, point it at the TV, and receive and explore and play and ask questions. It's that simple, right? And that's what living magic is all about, guys. So if you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what your experience was like. I would love to hear about it. I would love to hear what it was like from beginning to end, what you got, what you learned, and then go ahead and check. If you know the name of your crystal, go and check online the properties of the crystal and see how accurate the information was. It will blow you away, right? And if you really found this video useful and you think that other people will enjoy it, please go ahead and share it in your stories so that more people can benefit. All right. So again, guys, my name is David Lyon of Living Magic. If you want to learn more about what we offer and what we create and how you can benefit from it, you can go ahead and check out our website, which is www.livingmagic.life. Lots of love.